We know how to buy furniture, and we know about style, and we know about running budgets, but there are loads of other areas that we didn't know about.
Up to last year, Satch had never bought anything on the internet in his life. So for him to suddenly turn around and want to be part of an internet retail operation was quite a big step.
We needed help. It's as simple as that. We had gone from 10 staff to 60 staff overnight.
Every year, hundreds of businesses set up to make money and achieve success. It's not always a smooth ride though, and a little help in hand can make all the difference. Park Royal Partnership identified a need for business-to-business mentoring and decided to take some action.
The prop hire industry is quite established, it's quite traditional. Using our past experience, it made sense to stay within the film industry.
Having worked in the freelance environment for the last 20 years, we felt we lacked business experience and support.
The staffing issues, things like that that we'd never had to experience before. In the freelance world, if you're no good, you don't get hired again. It's slightly different on a kind of ongoing process. You've got to train staff, you've got to support them. So that's where we needed help. But we've had a very close relationship with Park Royal Partnership right from the beginning. They've been really supportive.
Park Royal Partnership came to us and offered us a space in this mentoring scheme, which at first we were quite dubious about. But we went along anyway, and actually it proved to be of great advantage.
And then John was matched with us. It was a kind of arranged marriage, and not, we didn't choose him and he didn't choose us. But we weren't sure of each other, but actually he hit the ground running.
One of the questions that I asked them was, what's the reason for your success?
We felt stressful, didn't we? We didn't feel successful.
I remember them saying to me, we're just doing this by instinct. We know nothing about business, we're doing it by instinct. And I said, so tell us about this instinct, because I believe that it's that instinct that we needed to identify, and there was a lot of unrealised potential there.
We just didn't know how to recruit. We didn't know the processes or the best way, and John very much gave us a kind of format.
So what I did was to take some time out and work on the recruitment process right the way through, even to the interview stage. So I had a number of techniques that I wanted to explain to people. And the simplest way of doing it was to put it on the back of the playing card. So there was an action point there. It was a prompt. It reminded them to do things that I'd been talking to them about in the meetings.
You can't put a monetary value on the impact he's had on our business. In fact, it's worked so well that we've asked him to stay on to be our business advisor.
Can't imagine life without him.
It was no fun really working for a large corporation and doing the hours. I wanted to run my own business. Together with my brother, we developed Secret Sales as a concept.
And we both just potentially saw that there was a huge market for online retail, and so we decided to go towards that.
Secret Sales is a private online shopping club that sells exclusive and prestigious brands at discounted prices to its members only.
We started off with a team of 2 people, and with a lot of hard work and determination, we've now grown into a team of 12. Well, we have our own in-house studio and in-house photographer, who, by the way, is brilliant. And we shoot everything on models, which initially is quite difficult to organise, however is so beneficial at the end result.
Well, there's been quite a few instances where the brands have been so impressed with the showcases, they've actually asked for copies and they're posting it up on YouTube and using it for their own marketing purposes.
We've had a lot of coverage in the national press, and over the past 3 months we've been able to amass over 55,000 registrants. However, what we really need now is some guidance with regards to operational structure and just general business structure as well.
We've had representatives from the Park Royal Partnership come and talk to us about the mentoring scheme, and it seemed something very interesting for us, having any additional pair of eyes or hands looking at the business. It would be of immense use to us.
Because running your own company can be a remarkably lonely place, and particularly if you're young, you're faced with decisions, you're faced with unfamiliar situations, and sometimes what you need is maybe a slightly avuncular figure who can come along and say, yes, come on, it's fine, you'll be fine. The risks are X. I regard that as an acceptable risk, and just do it. So it's a matter of support and moral support and enthusiasm as much really as practical theoretical training.
Tony comes from a background where he can quickly identify bottlenecks in our operations that we might quite easily overlook.
And there's always a danger in a situation like this of what we call overtrading, i.e. trying to be too determined too quickly, not managing the finances, overspending and going bust. Now, I don't think they'll do that because I think already they've learned a salutary lesson that they've got to watch the finances in a fairly big way. But I think if they can just curb their enthusiasm, but at the same time maintaining the impetus of the company, they'll be fine.
I work for the HR department for NEC Europe. We're a relatively small team, but we look after all of the employees for NEC Europe and a few of the subsidiaries based in the UK. We are a member of the Park Royal Partnership, and they approached my boss about the mentoring scheme. It was something that he suggested might be useful for me, might be something that I could contribute towards, and would also be helpful for my career. So Park Royal Partnership arranged a meeting. I had some training as a mentor, some guidance on how to manage the relationship and the sorts of issues to deal with. And our first meeting, I went along to AutoGem, met with Prashant, and we just went from there really, outlining the sorts of issues and concerns that he had, learning more about each other and our businesses and our experiences.
Well, we basically sell workshop consumables, so everything you need for a garage, that's what we do. Nuts, bolts, washing up liquid, bleach, toilet roll, you name it, exhaust fittings, tyre fittings, everything for a fast fit.
So when I started working with AutoGem, they had just taken over another business, and in fact they doubled their workforce overnight. Major
HR issues, major operational issues, and a lack of, shall we say, the latest professional education and the latest, experiences and legislation and all the rest of it. And it just made sense. I saw this thing in the Park Royal magazine, the newsletter that comes on the email, and I just thought, right, might as well apply for that because we need help. But I don't think there was really anything to worry about. They just wanted reassurance and support in the ideas that they had.
And it took some time for us to appreciate that whether you're a small company or a large company, you need to deal with these issues really in the same way. And a lot of these issues it's about how you approach the problem. And we had to educate ourselves in how we approach this problem. And she was excellent in doing that, but it was still good to have someone that held you by the hand and didn't say, look, you're not a complete muppet. These are questions you need to ask. Yeah, I would say all in all, we're a happier bunch. Certainly the staff are.
One of the other advantages to the scheme was that as a mentor, I was offered the opportunity to submit the reports that we produced for the Park Royal Partnership to be assessed as part of a master's degree. So I was actually awarded some credits towards a master's module. So if I want to continue to take a module with the Open University, that will count towards that qualification.
Park Royal come to us with a potential list of mentors and SMEs for the programme, and we provide the structure. So what that means is that at the beginning they have 2 days very strong training to support the beginning of the mentoring relationship, which is really, really important. After that, they go off and they don't actually come back here at all. They go and do their mentoring in their companies, and then they come back at the end of the programme here. And while they're mentoring, we support them by going out to their companies and supporting the mentors and helping them with any issues that come up.
They were almost like counsellors for the mentors, really, providing us with support whenever we needed it.
I think some of them are quite surprised. I think when they first come onto the programme, they maybe think, actually, I know how to mentor, this is a piece of cake. Actually, it's not, and they're often very challenged through the programme, and they get a lot out of it.
What I've brought back to my job is a reminder that to really encourage people to learn for themselves, that I can offer them pointers, but really I shouldn't be telling them what to do. I work pretty long hours and sometimes I have to travel. I'm also planning my wedding at the moment, which is stressful, but I found time to participate in the scheme, and I think it was worthwhile.
It's definitely going to benefit you, but you have to make sure that if you're going to go through that process, you want to do that. It's not a system that will work unless you want that change in your company.
If you'd like to find out how your business can get involved in business-to-business mentoring, then log on to our website.